Anyang KGC clinched the Korea Basketball League Championship last Sunday. They swept the regular season leaders Jeonju KCC Aegis, winning 4 games in the best-of-7 series. In fact, they swept the whole postseason, posting 10 consecutive wins, the first in KBL history. One Anyang player who particularly dominated the court is former NBA forward Jared Sullinger. He was named the MVP of the playoffs, and during the title-clinching game, he scored 42 points. That's half of the team's final score of 84. To tell us about his championship win and his time in Korea, we have now Jared Sullinger in the studio with us today for this week's Touch Base in Seoul. Mr. Sullinger, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And it's especially an honor as our KOrea24 staff has been in contact with your team over the last couple of months now to invite you to the show. And we finally have you here with us today, so we appreciate the time you made for us. Now, congratulations on winning the KBL Championship and being named the MVP of the playoffs. Can you tell us how you feel and what was the first thought that went through your mind when you realized that you'd won?
First thought was like, I get to go see my wife and kids. I get to go see my wife and kids
right.
after all the
hard work. Who are in the U.S.?
Yes, back in the U.S. So after all that hard work, I get to see my wife and kids and get to hug them and kiss them. But at the same time, I enjoyed it. I really did. Through the whole process that we went through, with everything that's going on with me and my career, and finally be able to win a championship as a professional, you don't get that often.
And this all happened only after you joined late in the regular season and made your debut in March. But you seem to have fitted into the team effortlessly. What was it like working with this team?
You got to give the players the credit, honestly, players and the coaches. When I came here, I had to fit in with them. So I thought. It was more like they was trying to fit in with me, and they let me be who I wanted to be. And when they did that, it kind of became a seamless transition. And so when you go down the line and you think about this team, because we're gonna be talked about in KBL history. But when you talk about this team, you got to give everybody their credit, not just me.
Well, you've personally been given the nickname Professor Seol or Seolgyosu by your Korean fans because of the way you, quote-unquote, educate your opponents. What was your reaction when you heard this moniker? Do you like it?
The first thing I heard when I heard it, I thought about my mom. My mom's a teacher back in the States. My dad's a teacher, was a teacher back in the States at the high school level. So when they told me I was a professor, that's technically a step above being a high school teacher. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And I knew my mom loved it. And she keeps calling me that. I don't know why, but she keeps calling me that. And she thinks she gets a kick out of it. Maybe
it'll stick with you for your future of your career as well.
I hope so. I like to be able to, teach my opponents how to play. And on the same time, I love the game of basketball. I missed it so much.
Yes, you've had an incredible time here. As I said, you joined the team in March. But can you tell us a little bit about your journey to Korea? You had a successful high school and college career in the U.S. before being a first-round pick for the Boston Celtics in the 2012 NBA draft, but I understand you've had difficulties with injuries in your career.
Yeah, I had a lot of injuries, back, foot, then back again. So it was just, be able to overcome all that and still be able to win a championship and come here. Anyang KGC gave me an opportunity like nobody else did. Everybody else thought I was done after being gone on a hiatus for 2 years. And the head coach gave me a call, and I'm forever in debt to him just because he gave me that opportunity to showcase what I can do. And he let me play it at the way that I wanted to play and to help the team win. So, I'm forever thankful for KGC.
That's right. Before Anyang, you were with the Shenzhen Aviators in China, but that was in 2017 to 2018, and then you spent 2 years without a team. What was that period like? Can you tell us about that?
Well, in the meantime, my wife got pregnant with our twins, Jared Jr. and Gemma Marie. And so I looked at it as an opportunity to be there for my wife through all the, ups and downs of pregnancy and just, be by her side. She's been by my side since day one. So it was time for me to return the favor. I just think that's how God set it up for me to return the favor and then get back to the game after the kids got, kind of self-sufficient on their own. And he returned me with a great team and be able to get a championship. So I'm forever thankful.
How did you stay in shape during that time and keep sharp during that time?
I have a great team behind me. I have Matt Weinscott that he helps me with my strength and conditioning. I have my basketball trainer in LD Williams, who recently retired from the game of basketball, now getting to personal training for basketball skills. So I had a lot of people in my corner that really pushed me to be the best person I can be, and was able to be the guy that needed to be on KGC to win the basketball game or win a championship. So I'm just thankful for the support system that I have back at home.
Can you tell us about that approach by KGC then? How did that come about, and what was your reaction when they approached you like that?
Well, it was late February. I was trying to hold out and try to get to the G League, but the G League got closed. I was trying to get to China, but China didn't want me. And then Ion KGC came out of nowhere and kind of swooped me off my feet. And I just wanted the opportunity to play and showcase myself, and they gave me that opportunity. And so it came late February, and as soon as they called, I took it.
What was it like returning to the court after 2 years?
Oh man, it was. I cried before the game.
Oh wow!
I cried before the game just because 2 years. Nobody thought I would be here, and then have the opportunity to play again and be able to do something that I truly love. After all the hard work and sacrifice that I put in for 2 years, I was just blown away to be able to step foot on that floor again. Now
that you've won a championship and the MVP, do you think you've made your doubters fear you now?
Yeah, I truly believe so. I just feel like I can get better as well. Being 2 years away from the game, I had to knock some rust off. There still was rust out there when I was playing. So, just gotta continue to get better. That's one thing I learned about the game of basketball. You can't be the same basketball player every year. You have to come back and you have to improve yourself. You have to add something to your game. And I think that's the goal, is just, go back home, get back into the lab and add something to my game.
Do you think you're back to full fitness now? And are you ready for more?
Yeah, I think I'm back to full fitness, and I think I'm ready for more. I think I truly do, just because the last 10 games of the playoffs, Coach played me 40, so I think I'm back.
Right. So you've been tested, and so you know you're back. It was a short time in Korea, though, an odd time as well, especially with the COVID-19 situation, with limited spectators due to all that. What have you made of the KBL, though?
I love it. It's physical, it's fair, and the players, they play hard. No matter where they're at on the standings, they play hard, and that's what you can appreciate. You can appreciate that because they're not disrespecting the game. It's not like, hey, I'm just ready to go home. No, everybody plays hard, everybody does their part, and everybody stays true to the game, and you love that.
Was that a surprise for you how hard they played?
Not really. I had a couple friends that talked to me, Vernon Macklin, Devin Scott, Nate Miller, who played here about 2 or 3 years ago. They all told me that they play hard. They play hard, and they're nonstop runners, and that's exactly what it was. It was an up and down game. Everybody ran hard. Everybody played hard. They played physical. Sometimes the ref let a little too much stuff go, but it was fun. It was really, really, really fun to be out there and see guys really respect the game.
Were there any differences that you saw, or any difficulties that you had acclimatizing to the league or your time in Korea?
I just think the physicality of under the rim, what we call a foul in, Europe, maybe even China, in the United States, they don't really call it a foul here. So, you had to learn how to finish through contact. And I think that really helped me, going forward, is be able to finish through contact, around the bucket, especially around the bucket.
You still dominated during your time, even through all that physical play. And it was perhaps great for the league as well to have a player of your caliber playing here. Do you have any advice for younger players out there in Korea, or even the coaches and management about the game from what you've seen so far?
No, you just got to keep moving the game forward. Everything can't be the same way. Sometimes it's okay to think outside the box. And I think my head coach, when I came here, he allowed me to help him think outside the box. And the thing that made him such a great head coach is that he was willing to listen and willing to trust. And that's one thing you have to do as a basketball coach, is understand that those guys that's out there on the floor, they see the game a little bit different than what you see on the sideline. They're feeling the bumps. They know where the help's coming from. They know where, the angles to pass. And when you have somebody out there on the floor that you can trust, and you listen and you understand, I think that just enhances your coaching ability, because you're able to add in what you see on the sideline and add in what the players see on the floor. So it's a little give and take that coach really did with me, and we got the job done by doing that.
If you had to sum up your time here in Korea in one word or one phrase, what would it be?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Just because, when you look at this stats, when you look at the history that we made, nobody ever swept the playoffs. So when us sweeping the playoffs, they're always going to talk about us and what we did, and that's going to be for a long time coming. I don't see a lot of teams doing that here recently. So whenever you talk about breaking records, you have to speak about Anyang KGC in 2020 and 2021.
Finally, Mr. Sullinger, what's next for you? Would you be staying in Korea? Would that be an option, or do you have aspirations perhaps to even return to the NBA?
My options are open. My options are real open, but the ultimate goal is to return back to the NBA. But if that doesn't happen, my options are open. So I'm willing to listen to any and every call.
And just to wrap up then, is there anything you'd like to say to Korean fans out there who have enjoyed your extraordinary performances this year?
I appreciate each and every one of you. Going through the 2 years of trials and tribulations of what I went through, I appreciate every one of you, just because you've been loyal, you've been respectful, and you've been thankful. And I'm thankful for you more than you even know.
Well, it's been great to have you with us today. Good luck on your next move. And we're thankful that you came to Korea as well. We've been speaking to KBL champion and playoffs MVP Jared Sullinger of Anyang KGC. Thank you for speaking to us today.
Thanks for having me.